Hey everyone, I'm Josh Kalscheur, one of the practice directors here at the corporate office at Nordic. Thanks for joining us to talk a little bit about Go Live and Cutover. This is a great series that we're pretty excited about, giving you the opportunity to learn from some of our best about what is important to consider and keep in mind in regards to Go Live and Cutover, and certainly our opportunity also to learn from you. Let us know your thoughts on these series and if there are additional things that we can share with you that would be more helpful. I'm joined here today with Andy Palmer, one of our longtime consultants, somebody that we love to bring in and just learn from your experience and your time in the field, and very interested in kind of hearing some more about your thoughts on the access portion specifically of Go Live and Cutover.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. I'm Andy Palmer. I've been a consultant here at Nordic for several years now, primarily focused on the patient access applications, like you mentioned, ADT, Cadence, Prelude. Myself have probably gone through over a dozen full-scale conversions and cutovers, and have a lot of experience working through just the massive planning and logistics and execution of those phases of the project.
So with over a dozen Go Lives under your belt, Andy, I'm sure just like any professional athlete is preparing for their main event, and Go Live is certainly our main event. What does your pre-live ritual look like?
I don't know if I have a full-scale ritual or anything, but I found that eating a big breakfast and kind of getting ready for the day at hand is key. It really sets you off on the right tone, and as you end up kind of running around all over the place throughout the day, it's good to kind of have that foundation in there. As much of a cliche as it is to say eat a good breakfast, it really does help. Caffeine certainly can get you through the day as well too. So whatever your vice is there can certainly help. Usually my cutover days usually entail coming in pretty early. Working with ADT and everything, we're usually kicking off that cutover process with getting admissions in and things like that to kind of get the ball rolling. So a lot of times I'll come in early in the morning, 6, 7 a.m. to get things moving there. Go through the ADT portion of the cutover piece. I like to kind of go back to get a little bit of sleep beforehand, and then come back in for the night shift as well, to be there when that first instance of Epic going live. I like to be there at the 3:01 a.m. when that switch is finally turned on. So having that kind of foundation there really gets me going throughout the day.
So we've talked about several different areas, and I think some very important considerations here. What are some things that you feel like we haven't touched on yet or are important for us to make sure that we do go over?
I really think making sure you have a lot of operational engagement is key. I found a lot of success in kind of getting ownership or projecting ownership into the operational folks to make a lot of this stuff happen. Whether that's scheduling thousands and thousands of appointments and getting managers involved and getting staff involved for that, or it's getting admission staff involved in registration conversion and ADT conversion at the time of cutover, getting nurses and pharmacists involved when it comes time for the clinical portions of cutover. It's absolutely critical to get that involvement squared away early, so that you're not coming up a couple weeks before for your cutover Go Live activities and say, hey, we need 100 people. Who can we get? With schedules being what they are and how far out a lot of those areas have to schedule their staff and their resources, getting that information out to them several months in advance allows them to plan around for that. And so I think that's a very critical element of making sure that all of those little functions, all those tens of thousands of little things that have to happen during the cutover process get done at the right time and in the right sequence with the right people involved.
Great. I have to ask you here before we wrap up, Andy, with all this experience that you have and certainly the multiple different Go Lives that you've gone through, do you have any access or Go Live related tattoos or body art?
I do not. Thankfully, that has not become any sort of like a betting wager or anything like that in terms of accomplishing those tasks. But I guess thankfully for both me and my wife, I do not have any access-related body art.
Is it something you'd consider if folks maybe would vote online for an option?
After you get one, I will get one.
It may not be access related, as long as that's okay.
We can talk about it.
It sounds good. Well, thanks a ton, Andy, for sitting with us today and talking a little bit about, I think, a topic that obviously is near and dear to your heart, and certainly is just a critical one for that time frame where folks are going from all the excitement and anticipation of what Epic will be to realizing truly what Epic is after they flip that switch and really are live on the system. I mean, access, appointment conversion, that is, as we talked, just the front runner of Go Live, and certainly an area that is of key interest, I think, to all of the other areas that are involved in that Go Live process. So very much appreciate you sharing your time with us today, and I hope that everyone out there as well learned something a little bit new, either about Andy himself or about this process.
Thanks, Josh. I appreciate you having me, and if anyone has any questions, comments, or feedback, feel free to post those, and we'll be happy to respond.
Sounds great. Thanks.